pretty stable. I'd expect the Varia ban to come out, or are they going to, let's say, maybe they've had time to look at the patch notes and decide that she's not really worth banning anymore?
Yeah, I'd still like to see it just as a shift of we really don't know what to expect yet.
Yeah, exactly. But Varia ban comes out, I expect a Black Feather, no, a Vox, because talking about Vox, now see, I can go through heroes as they are picked or banned through this series because I do have the patch notes in front of me because I'm a clever cookie like that, and I can tell you that Vox has got a very decent buff coming out from her side in the 2.12 patch. Crystal Vox is coming back into the meta, it seems, as Grace is picked up. Yes, Vox has got a basic attack range increase from 5 to 5.6. Basic attacks now have base damage plus 2 per level with a crystal ratio of 50%. And also the likes of the Pulse is going to have a bounce range increased by 2. So really strong stuff that's going to come out from Vox. Grace pickup, still very strong with the Divine Intervention, followed by the Echo to give her the double health. Lance ban. Lance got a bit of a buff, but I wouldn't expect he's good enough to be banned. What do you think make of that, Dunkmaster?
It's a very wise ban because earlier on, until she maxes her Holy Nova, he can kind of pose a threat with his Githian Wall into stuns on the Grace. So I agree with that.
Very true. That's a very good point. It can be somewhat of a counter to Grace. Ringo banned on the side of Phantom Memory does make sense. Ringo in the very kind of quick 1v1 match that 5v5 match I did play on my break at work. Ringo still seemed very strong and very much in the meta with that Spell Sword build and the Double Tyrant. So I don't expect much different in terms of him being either picked up or banned. Kylin Esports taking the time. They picked up Celeste. Celeste has got a bit of a buff in terms of her range and just the way she is played will make her, I believe, somewhat more aggressive. Headless picked up, again, another hero that's gotten buffed. What do you make of this, Dunkmaster? Interesting picks we're seeing already based on the 2.12 patch.
I kind of like it. I'll be looking forward to see the brotherly, sisterly matchup from both sides going on versus the Vox and the Celeste.
Yeah, brother, sister is not afraid to go to war in the best way possible. So last pick from Phantom Memory is going to be interesting. Trying to speculate, it could actually be a Rona. Rona wouldn't be a bad idea, I feel. Can help with Petal and just to get in the front line to kind of get in on the Celeste, even though Grace will be there with the Holy Nova. I think Rona wouldn't be a bad pick. What do you think yourself, Dunkmaster?
Rona would be good, but if Rona's picked on the other side, I would love to see a Koshka if there's not already a CP jungler picked.
Yeah, and my humble apology, I really don't know why I said Rona, because I did realize that it's a Vox and Petal pickup, so my humble apologies. That the Vox pickup kind of went out the window for me, so they're going to have to go for support. Now, Arden got a bit of a nerf. The cooldown on his abilities has been heavy, and I actually think he's a bit, not risky, but not really going to be in the meta so strongly. I would like to see a Grace instead of the Arden. What do you think yourself? Or maybe even a Lyra?
Well, if there's a Grace already on the other side, then the Lyra or maybe even a Dagio would make the best of sense here.
Yeah, Dagio definitely got a change on the 2.12 patch, as we do wait to find out. Her basic attack, his basic attack range got increased, and the move speed got increased, as we are just waiting for Phantom Memory to pick up their last hero. And also the Gift of Fire radius has been increased from 5 to 5.5. And also, just to let you know, the Versa Judgment fortified health has been increased from on the max of 550 to up to 1,100. That is an insane difference on the Versa Judgment and could play a big part, but it has been that Arden last pick that has come out from Phantom Memory.
Which I can see that because even though he may have got nerfs a little bit towards his cooldowns, he still provides a very good kiting kit with the abilities that he does have.
He does, and this last pick come out from Kylin Esports, I would expect it to be Cruel. Cruel works really well with Grace Provide, even though Cruel is countered by Petal and even somewhat by Vox. Cruel got a good buff in the 2.12 patch. His the cooldown on his perk has been decreased from 1.5 seconds to 1 second, Dunkmaster, and then his movement speed has been increased, I believe, from 2% to 4%, I believe. Let me just absolutely confirm that for you, lovely ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages that are viewing this match. As I just bring it down, yes, it's been increased from 2 to 2.5 as move speed, and that is going to make a big difference, to be honest, in trying to get onto the Petal or even the Vox.
And as you say,
just wait 2 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Just trying to find out some information off our streamer producer, gentlemen. 2 seconds. Okay, I've just been told that due to a glitch in the draft client, Phantom Memory did not actually want to pick Petal. I do not know the full-on details of what in terms of what the rules say, but I have been told that the draft is being restarted and that it will be up until the Petal point. Yes. Okay, no problem. So it is the same pick or bans up to the point of the Petal, and then obviously it will then come down to whatever Kylin Esports do pick on their last pick. And just to try and confirm, are we going to get a new link sent for this draft, or do we refresh it? Okay, no problem at all. Thank you very much, Mr. Streamer. Beautiful person, man, that is doing his absolute best. So yes, we are going to get a new link for this draft. I believe it will just go by as quickly as possible. As I said, just to confirm that due to a glitch in the draft client system, the draft is being restarted, but the same heroes will be picked and banned up until the point of Petal. Afterwards, it will then be an open choice for Kylin. They will not have to pick the Rona. They will have the choice to pick something that, let's say, counters, as we see the Koshka that has come out from Phantom Memory. You mentioned the Dunkmaster, the Koshka with the extra barrier on her twirly death in a team fight. The more people that she connects with on the twirly death, the bigger barrier she will get. I believe the point of this is at least in 5v5, so that she is just a little bit more sustainable in these team fights in the middle of the fight as an assassin jumping in there and just trying to get a quick death or two and jumping back out. So what do you make of this draft, as we do see it being slightly adjusted compared to what we originally thought it was going to be?
And finally, yes, my one and only favorite, Koshka. Koshka used to be super good because of what she's just got back being her barrier. And I hope to every point after level 6, hope for that yummy catnip frenzy onto the Celeste. And that is why she's going to be in this draft, to serve that purpose.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be really interesting. I'm just waiting on the invite to the party myself. Guys in chat, get your hashtags out there for who you want to see win this first game of the 3-game series between the one and only, because I forget and I'm a little bit special like that, it is the fantastic Phantom Memory against Kylin Esports, as I am just again waiting just to get into the party so we can get this game, this show on the road. I am hyped, Dunkmaster. Are you hyped?
Especially since hearing Koshka's in here, I am totally hyped for this upcoming game.
That is what I like to hear. Guys in chat, get ready to be hyped out of this place. Again, I know it's not 5v5, but it's still 3v3. It is still going to be this amazing powerhouse action that we are used to seeing that will be ramped up, of course, for 5v5 when people get to playing tournaments. But the NACL right now, it's 3v3 because that's how it started. It's how it's going to finish for you beautiful people that are watching. My name is Imperium D. I'm an absolute pleasure to be able to cast this match for you guys. Just to let you all know that you can follow NACL on Twitter for the latest updates on who's playing in the evening times, what teams are going to be playing, the league results and everything like that. So go ahead and follow NACL on Twitter if you have a chance, because that would just be a great support for these guys. And we're just getting ready to get these players into the party and get this game started. The heroes are going to be very interesting coming out between these two comps. Based on the two comps, Dunkmaster, who do you think has, the game-winning comp?
If you would, please just let me know what the comps are, because I wasn't able to.
The comps are going to be Vox, Koshka, and Arden on the side of Phantom Memory, and it's going to be Grace, Celeste, and Rona on the side of Kylin Esports.
It's going to be up to if that Koshka can land her Yummy Catnip Frenzies appropriately, or if that Celeste does buy that level 6 reflex block, knowing that she really doesn't want to because she is one of those hyper carries, but she needs to. If she doesn't, A-side, other than that, due to the double healing, in fact, triple healing, I'm going to have to give it over to Kylin Esports.
Yeah, I do feel like Kylin Esports overall have at least a better late game comp. The only strength that I really feel really plays to Phantom Memory is the early game strength that will come out from the Koshka. Along with the Arden and the nice rotations that potentially will come out from the Vox, if they can get a hold of the early game jungle coming out from Kylin Esports, that maybe they can just create that early game snowball, starve and shut down Kylin, both the Rona and the Celeste, and then go from there. But I still think it's risky when it comes to late game, as Celeste will have her extra range. And we are into this fold for this first game of the series. Look at this lovely 3v3 map. I know, guys, you want 5v5, but I do apologize. I just do get the hype of casting NACL 3v3, because who doesn't love 3v3? It's born and bred. It's in the blood of Vainglory, in the blood of the players, and I don't think it's really going to go away much longer, as you do see this early engagement between the two captains of Modivus and Cronus. One side thing I must mention is I do love the font changes that have come out from Vainglory in this match. In the new UI, should I say, and in the new experience, a new color map, a lot brighter to match the spring and the brightness of the 5v5 hype, as you see these two teams just gonna look to fight over this mid-century. Lover just trying to just pace it back, putting out those Helios. As we do see Elijah going on to the Koshka, but now jumping back as just going to be Dark Rith. Going to have to kite back a little bit as Rona goes down on first blow. Great kill on the side of Arden with really good stuff. Now they're going to try and focus onto Celeste. Celeste is being chunked down by the Koshka, and Koshka is going to second kill. Corner's going to do nothing. It's going to be not quite an ace on the side of Phantom Memory. That is the early game we really want to see coming out from the Dunkmaster.
Yeah, that's very true. But oof, after the 3 early kills, the Koshka falls to the Elder. That's rough.
Very rough. I don't get that. If you get the double kill, like, why was he tanking that Elder? It was just a little bit silly. However, at the end of the day, they got the first blood gold, which is an extra 400, as we do see up in lane. Cat Lover and Cronus just doing that early game pressure or on the lane, which is definitely a good thing for Kylin, because you potentially make the Koshiko go up to lane, and so she can't get ahead in jungle. As we do talk about going in jungle, we see Rona and Koshiko going at it. Koshiko's just doing the twirly death just to try and get away from the Rona, but Rona has the better for the healing flask is popped on the side of Elijah, as he's just gonna try and go onto Rona, but no, goes back, just gonna try and take this mid-century. No, isn't gonna try and take the mid-century. Yes, they are gonna take this mid-century just to try and help increase our goal lead. However, I would like to see them try to invade the jungle a little bit more, because we saw the damage that Koshika's doing to Rona, just nipping in and out of the team fights, using her strength, her burst, and her movement speed just to get the better of Dorona in this early stages, which is what we expect, Master.
Yes, and due to this early aggression, we see about a 1k gold lead over on the side of Phantom Memory. And now, even after that Treant steal in the 2 camps in the front stolen, I really wish they rotated up to the side of their jungle and tried to put pressure onto the Celeste farming in lane.
Yeah, you definitely want to put a little bit of pressure. Well, you want to put a good bit of pressure on the Celeste, because you don't want to let the Celeste have too easy of a time farming up into the 2 or 3 damage item that we do like to see into the Celeste. And also, as once she hits her level 8 range, she does become quite disgusting and hard to get a hold of in these team fights. Great engagement coming out from the Vox. Pressure onto Kalov, but now we see Rona jumping into the fray and just getting that kill onto the Arden. That was really good stuff by Kylin Esports. Great rotation. Koshika just trying to create a little bit of distraction going into Kronos, and now doing that burst damage as we like to see on the twirly death into the basic attack. Just really helps on that burst, on that little bit of poke. And now Vox is just gonna back off. I'd like to see them now as a jungle and a carry just go into their jungle, help with the experience and the ambient, and then just get into those items and the later game levels that they need to be at.
Yeah, that's very true. And interesting to see a breaking point first item on the Vox. Usually I would see a poison shift, but I mean that is very interesting. Can you touch base on why he might have bought the breaking point first?
The only reason why I suppose I can say they would have touched base on that is, one, because Rona is going to be engaged heavy onto the Vox, and I suppose potentially it helps with the early game kiting by building up stacks, even though normally breaking point works best when you have core weapon power damage behind it or as a first item. However, compared to, let's say, not going for the poison shiv, even though it's strong as an item, it's really best against a true healer like a Lyra or an Adagio. But talking about that, as we do see Koshka just potentially getting caught out, it did get the healing sentry did get taken by the Koshka, and that did help them just try and get out of that disengage out of that fight. But we do see now the Celeste is just trying to push turret a little bit, just trying to farm up. We do see the Grace supporting the Celeste quite nicely in this early game. 5 and 6 minutes into this game, Dunkmaster, 3 kills on the side of Phantom Memory and 2 kills on the side of Kylin Esports. What do you make of the game so far?
I mean, it's going a little, 50-50 with a 1.3 gold lead to the side of Phantom Memory. And I have to notice here that the Vox is actually doing well, having 10 CS over the Celeste at this point.
Yeah, which I wouldn't say it's to be expected, but your weapon power Vox, and it's just a little bit easier to farm up. You have the resonance bounce, you have that kind of basic damage that's going to go ahead of Celeste. Celeste has a slow basic attack, so it can be a little bit harder for her to farm up. As you do see, all the Phantom Memory are up in lane. I feel like they are maybe just not capturing the early game quite like we would what I would like them to see, but we do see the divine intervention going in onto benediction went onto the Vox, but now we do see Vox going in. The fountain came out on the side of Kylin Esports, and now Dark Wizards come back. Oh, and the Yummy Catnip comes out, and it does stun up the Celeste, and does make Celeste just go back. But you see Interfray going into Divine Intervention, does heal up Morphin on the Rona, and it does mean that they're just going to back off. The gold mine is full, Dunkmaster. It would be ideal, I feel, for Phantom Memory to go for the gold mine now, because I think they have good control in this game. The lane isn't pushed. If they went for gold mine, it would just be core gold advantage on their side, even more than they already have.
Yeah, that's true, but with them not getting a kill, it's kind of risky to go for it, especially since the Vox is quite low and didn't really have that much energy.
As you see Interfray onto the Vox and just going in on those faux splitter attacks, should I say, and just trying to get into the Vox's face, but the Vox is kiting back so nicely with great support coming out from Modus, and we do see Koshka is rotated up, but those Helos is going to scout out that bush somewhat and just mean that the Koshka is just going to have to back off a little bit. The Helos, she's on level 7, Cat Lover is, the Celeste is at level 7, so isn't quite at that extra range of level 8, which will give her an advantage. What do you make of the Shatterglass first item pickup as opposed to Dragon's Eye?
It's interesting, but as we noticed, 452 off of each Helio onto a Vox is pretty devastating at this point in the game.
Do you think that because Kylin are maybe afraid of the Koshka and even the Vox engaging heavy on her, that it's a matter of, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to do as much damage as I can in the process, rather than, let's say, waiting for the Dragon's Eye stacks?
Yeah, potentially, because like you said, the Koshka is a very burst-heavy hero, and without a reflex to kind of stop that Yummy Catnip, she would go down rather quickly.
Yeah, that's one thing to point out. She still doesn't have a reflex box, so she is a prime target for that Yummy Catnip, as we do see the Holy Nova stunning up the Koshka, but the Grey Fountain that came out from the Arden and the Vanguard did save Elijah HZ. But now it is going to be the Vox and having to come back. But the double gauntlet that comes out on the side of Arden. Absolutely amazing stuff. But the Yummy Catnip stunning the wrong hero, I feel. Should have been stunning the Celeste, but a fantastic Vanguard mode was doing his best. And now we do see the kiting back and a double kill onto the side of Phantom Memory. And this Vox, Darthrick, doing an amazing job. But the double gauntlet from Modus, absolutely sensational, Dunkmaster.
This will be first turret falling down, though, for the side of Phantom Memory to pick up. And now I do want them to see them go for a gold mine, but it looks like their Modus is just going to recall, though. I'm not sure if I really agree with this.
Yeah, they could have gone for a gold mine, I do feel. But, I would like to see a bit more vision coming out from both teams in this kind of 10-minute mark, especially Kylin Esports, because you're against the Koshka, and Koshka is just gonna kind of go in and out of the bush. And if you have a bit more vision, that's gonna, like, let's say, even though the Helios do scout out of the bush, your Celeste, you don't really want to rely on the Helios, because you want the Helios to do damage rather than be a scout trap. As you do see, the Celeste has hit level 9, so it's gonna have the extra range.
Yeah, and exactly. And like you said, the Helios for vision, it's just not the Helios you want for damage setup. So, I agree. At least a couple scouts here and there would be nice for both sides. Just
I suppose. Exactly. So we do see 5-2 to a 3k goal lead on the side of Phantom Memory. They've actually consistently increased their goal lead, which is really good to see, considering their comp, at least on the side of Koshka, it's going to start falling off. So if they do maybe potentially increase his goal lead, as both teams are being a little bit passive, as they're just kind of trying to farm it into Frey, goes onto Vox, but now Vox is just getting Vanguard, just being able to kite back. Do you see the Holy Nova is missed onto Vox with that absolute fantastic Sonic Zoom that came out just a block away from that, as you do see the Divine Intervention going on, but the Solar Storm does come out and does connect quite nicely, but the block coming out onto the side of Phantom Memory was absolutely fantastic, but didn't stop Vox going down, as you do see Arden secure that kill onto the Celeste, with now Morphin is going to jump onto the onto the Koshka, and now Koshka is just going to grab a hold of the Grace, doing that fantastic basic half shock damage, followed by Broken Myth, and now the Grace does go down. That was really good stuff going out from Phantom Memory, but Phantom Memory, take advantage of this. Take a Crystal Sentry. Take the jungle. We do see him taking jungle. Get the Crystal Sentry because the lane is pushed on the side of Kylin Esports. Dunkmaster, break that last team fight down for us.
So basically what happened is, yes, Vox went a little bit aggressive and paid for his life, but since the Koshka, who just got, buffed back up, was able to dive Yummy Catnip Frenzy onto the Celeste, since she still doesn't have a reflex block and neglected, okay, now she has one. She was able to get stunned, and I think Motivus was able to clean up the kill, and then playing the hit and run assassin she is, the Koshka was able to come back and clean up the Grace as well.
Yeah, and what I find interesting is that Cat Lover has gone for Dragon's Eye second item. I find that interesting because I would have imagined that Clockwork would have come out because it would have helped her spam out her Helios, and with the Shatterglass, I felt would be more of an impact, but this is a team fight engagement. I do feel we're going to have Holy Nova just turn out the Koshka. Look at the Vox going on to Celeste, and Divine Intervention to want to heal, and then Interfray is going to try and jump onto the Vox, but now fantastic Yummy Catnip just to stop the Rona engaging onto the Vox. Oh, and he's stunned and blocked. Holy Nova does miss, but now we do see the Vox followed by the Vanguard just to try and secure the kill onto Koshka, and now the double kill going onto the Rona, and now it's going to be a kill by the Koshka and an ace on the side of Phantom Memory. Fantastic team fight engagement. Great synergy coming out from Phantom Memory, and great focus by Darth Rick to go onto the Celeste. Really prime target.
Yeah, and they're taking a Goemon now, got a Sentry, and maybe even look to get a turret. Who knows? But
let's have a look at these minions. These minions are pushing a little bit. They are bursting down this turret. Are they going to quite get to it? And I do feel they are. It does go down. Minions for the win. NA Minions 2.12 patch. Hashtag winning the world. That is what we like to see. Great stuff. This is the hype we want to see. Kylin Esports, they are definitely not out of it. They just got to play these team fights into the fray. Goes on. The Holy Nova just miss out. You do see the Darthrick just being so aggressive. And a fantastic Vanguard going on. Double Vanguard does quite miss, but doesn't stop the Divine Intervention. Holy Solar Storm does come out. Darthrick has been so good. Reposition, gets a kill, and helps secure the kill onto the Grace. And now the kill is going over to Rona, and now it does leave Celeste on her own exposed. Get killed, shut down, and it's another ace by Phantom Memory with the Crystal Sentry being defeated again. One life left. That's going to be another turret. I do believe Darthrick isn't going to push that. He's going to let his minions do the job.
They're going to get another turret and even the Kraken too. What a snowball. This is what I've wanted to see when a Koshka gets picked up by a team. Full aggression. Don't stop. Just fight. No fear, just fight. Let's get it.
Exactly, Dunkmaster. And, one thing is that I was worried, and I think we were both a little bit worried that the Koshka would fall off late game. But I think with the Vox being so aggressive and repositioning perfectly in these team fights, that they focused really nicely on the right heroes in the right situations, which essentially mainly has to be the Celeste. And because the Koshka was able and is able to stun up the right hero 9 times out of 10, it's really helped, as I said, it's really helped them secure these aces and these team fights. As the Kraken is bearing down onto the enemy jungle, Solar Storm comes out, but it isn't going to do much to Yummy Catnip Frenzy. Does go onto the Rona, is blocked. The Holy Nova and the kill is onto the Rona, and now the Rona is going to go down. The Grace is about to go down, but does have to Divine Intervention himself, and now it's just going to be Kraken do damage. Another one turret down. Holy Nova does stun both the Koshka, followed by the Core Clap stunning Koshka, and now it's just going to be Cal over me shut down. No Divine Intervention, so now it doesn't heal on the base, but it doesn't go to stop. Patrick just trying to get onto the Vox. Oh, and the absolutely fantastic finish. It was the perfect distraction. They didn't get the kill onto the Celeste, but the Kraken did its job, Dunkmaster, and just absolutely shut down those turrets really quickly. And also Koshka was doing her bit just to help secure it really nicely. That game was really, I think, actually quite interesting. Only 3 kills on the side of Kylin Esports. I felt they should have gotten into this late game a lot better than they did. They got snowballed, like you mentioned, quite easily. Where did they fall down?
Well, looking at these post builds, I would have loved to see an Atlas maybe on the Rona and a War Treads on the Grace, because as we noticed the whole game, they were just getting rushed by Phantom Memory, Motivus having War Treads, being able to kite in, Echo, double gauntlet, proper executions on the Yummy Catnip Frenzy by the Koshka. It just, stops everything that the sustained comp wants to do by, snowballing at the end. We have a 9K gold lead, 14-13, and it ends at 16 minutes and 50 seconds. Exactly what I wanted to see by a Koshka early aggression composition from Phantom Memory. Well played to both teams.
Yeah, very well played to both teams. And going into the second draft, what do you expect Kylin Esports to do better or to do differently? Just essentially play on their comp strengths a bit more, or
maybe in game focus a little bit more on
sorry, there's no master. Apologies.
What they need to buy based off of how the team fights are going, instead of what they feel is right, because sometimes what they feel is right isn't always the case scenario and what is really the correct choice.
Exactly. I don't know if Angel Wolf, if you can confirm if Dunkmaster is not talking on the side of stream, or if it's just me. I do apologize. Okay, so it seems like Dunkmaster is down for the count for now. We'll see if we can get him up as quickly as possible. But yeah, going into the second game, I think it's going to be interesting what we see coming out from these two teams. Phantom Memory just played such a good first game that into the second game, I think they do have the strength and the synergy to take advantage of Kylin Esports. But it also depends on what draft comes out. Maybe Kylin Esports weren't playing the most comfortable comp, that they were kind of going off based on the 2.12 patch, and they just need to go back. So yeah, it's going to be interesting on what we have coming out between these two teams. I'm just waiting to get the link coming out of these.
You guys can't hear me?
Now we can indeed, Dunkmaster.
Okay. Would you like me to repeat what I was going on about what you asked me?
No, it's okay. We'll just go into this draft as quickly as possible. Maybe if you just want to repeat, or I'll ask you what you maybe expect coming out from these two drafts. Maybe like I mentioned a second ago, maybe the Kylin Esports were just picking based on the 2.12 patch notes. What do you think yourself?
Maybe they should. What I recommend is maybe they focus a little bit less about what the patch notes say and more about just what's comfort. I know a lot of people talk about comfort picks, and I have to agree with it as a player. If you're comfortable on it, it's better than what is meta.
Exactly, that's the thing, especially when we're so new. We're literally less than a day into this into the new patch, so it's really hard to tell. But we are into the draft of this second game. Kylin Esports on the left hand side for this second game in the series. Phantom Memory on the right hand side. Vox ban coming out from Esports. That is definitely a target ban, 100%, no doubt, Dunkmaster.
Yeah, I could agree with that. After what Darthrick was doing, that definitely looks like a target ban right there. And maybe on the side, maybe they choose to ban Koshka, because who knows? Maybe Kylin Esports seen how good it was and might pick it up for themselves.
Exactly, they might, but I doubt they'd pick it up first pick. I don't think it's a hero that is that strong that he need to pick it up first pick compared to the likes of Blackfeather, Ringo, Grace, Arden. As you do see, Churn Walker is banned on the side of Phantom Memory. They do not like going up against this Churn Walker. It feels like because they've let Varia go, and this is gonna be interesting. I haven't quite looked up the changes that have gone on to Varia. I'm going to try to do that now while we are going through the draft. I do pick up Varia on Kylin Esports. So what do you make of that?
I myself as well don't know how heavy or what exactly she got nerfed. I know she was expected to get a nerf this patch, but other than that, I really don't know how different she's going to be this patch.
Yeah, exactly. So, I can't bring up that her basic attack range has actually increased, but I think that's just for 5v5. The chain lightning ability has been reduced somewhat in terms of target damage, and the crystal ratio of the secondary targets has been massively reduced from 45% to 25%. But anyway, that we will see how much of an impact she plays in this game, because Arden is picked up by Phantom Memory and they've outright banned the Cruel. I think that's a good idea to ban Cruel. Cruel, I feel, is going to be very strong this patch.
Yeah, and as you touch base on Cruel, I was looking at him a little bit, and his From Hell's Horror and just his ability to move in and out of the bushes seems really effective this patch.
Yeah, exactly. His the reduction in his perk has been reduced in terms of how quickly it's gone down from 1.5 seconds to 1 second, Duckmaster, and then his speed has gone up from 2 to 2.5 when he is in his perk. So that would be very strong against an enemy team. However, Sky's being picked up by Phantom Memory, their second pick. Interesting because she's still flexible between weapon and crystal power, at least so far. Well, Kylin Esports have gone for Lance. What do you make of that Lance pick up second pick?
Like I was touching base about the Lance against the Grace, is he's really strong, and I feel he's going to be really good this patch, especially because I believe his Githian wall got a buff to it. And with Echo, you can just apply so much crowd control with the Lance, kind of to stop the Cruel.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be a bad idea, as we are waiting on the last pick of Kylin Esports. They have a Var, they have a Lance. They've gone for a Ringo. Ooh, this is interesting. I then feel it's going to be maybe a Varia in the jungle with possibly flex, because I think Ringo and Varia can be flexed between CP and weapon power. That makes it quite hard for Phantom Memory to counter pick on that last pick. Who would you like to see, Duckmaster?
Oh, can you repeat yourself, please?
Who would you like to see as the last pick coming out from Phantom Memory to try to counter in any way the Ringo or the Varia?
In all honesty, they can pick up something. Yeah, I can try to do that. I think maybe it's weird, but maybe like a Jewel in the lane or something. Can
Ooh.
possibly be very good.
Possibly, but they have gone for the Rona. So I think it's going to be Rona in lane with the Sky CP in the jungle. Interesting, great mobility on the side of Phantom Memory. However, I think with the Rona, she might potentially be called out because Lance does counter the Rona. The Githian wall can really shut down the Rona when she's stunned up against the wall. I feel like Kylin Esports, if the Lance picks up an Echo, actually second or even third item, with the double Githian wall, will really shut down that Rona. And when you have the stacks and the damage that's going to come out from both Varia and Ringo, I think it could spell bad news for the Rona.
Yeah, that's very true. Especially because if he does go for Echo on the Githian wall, Rona's just not able to get where she needs to be in the team fights.
Exactly. So we are just getting ready to load up into this game just to make sure that all players are ready, and just going to try and start up this game as quickly as possible. So yeah, there is a delay. There's a delay from the match not starting. Just because I think there's still a couple of bugs from the 2.12 patch in terms of trying to start the match. It can take a while. But however, we have the heroes are being locked in. We are going to load into this fold as soon as possible. It isn't the Rise, unfortunately, like we all know. It's not 5v5 just yet. I'm sure that will come in the future as all you beautiful viewers are tuning in. Get those hashtags out and who you want to see win this second game of the series. Hashtag Kylin Esports, hashtag Phantom Memory. Get into the chat, show your support for these guys as they are hyped up, ready to face the music in this second game of the series.
Yeah, it's very true, and I am very looking forward to this game. And actually surprising, they went for a Lance and a double range comp. Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting, and we'll see how it goes. Doug Master, I'll kind of leave it up to you to call the action. But look at that gold, that gold lance skin. It's absolutely tremendous. That's an insta win from my point of view. Just seeing that skin on the fold.
Yes, and I was going to touch base on that too. What a beauty that golden lance skin is, huh?
It's a skin fit for kings and queens, I'll tell you that much. But we do see the standard rotation coming out from these two teams, Doug Master.
Yeah, that's very true. I wonder if they will go for that early fight, or if the side of Phantom Memory choose not to fight Kylin Esports.
Yeah, exactly.
I would imagine they do, as we see a team fight breaking out. Nice into the fray, foe splitter, Surrey strike over into the forward barrage. Nice kill by Rona. Flask popped by the Ringo. Waiting for the foe splitter to happen. Doesn't happen. Basic attacks by the Sky. Cleans up on the Ringo. Nice job by the Sky. Nicely well played.
That's really good, strong game coming out from Phantom Memory, and they do take this mid-treat in the process. Strong start from them. What do you make of that engagement? Do you think that was just an outright mistake coming out from Kylin Esports?
I feel it was just an all-out aggression from Phantom Memory. Winning that last game must have set a trigger like, we either go big or go home, and they surely went big in that first team fight.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I think Phantom Memory will look to kind of just ramp it up a little bit, try and snowball, lock down.
Nice and pale. It's a Githian wall. Get a little bit of poke by both sides. For Barrage not really connecting with anyone. So get a little bit of harassment. I think you can continue your statement for now.
Yeah, as you see the impale miss. And one thing I just want to point out, that is a potential risk for this Lance pickup. Even though Lance does somewhat counter Rona, Sky counters Lance, because when you dive in as a Lance, Duckmaster, and you miss that impale, I will actually stop that as you do see this engagement.
Yeah, very true. For Barrage connecting, not on the target it wants, but still doing very good damage. Ooh, basic attacks trading with the Sky. We're gonna see a Ringo come in, get him with his auto attack. Rona actually cleans up into the fray into a foe splitter, killing the Lance.
And it does leave her open to take this mid-century, which is definitely gold onto the side of Phantom Memory. They are over 1k gold ahead, Duckmaster, and it's actually similar stuff to what we saw last game, to be honest. So I'm pretty happy with how Phantom Memory are going so far.
Yeah, because like I said about the go big or go home, they had that, not really as much early game threat as they do now, but, they kind of escalating, seeing how they could, kind of beat down upon the side of Kylin Esports.
Yeah, exactly. And I think part of the reason why Phantom Memory might potentially win this early game, as you do see the The Lance impales onto the Rona, just try and stop in any way farming. But yeah, I think there's just slightly better synergy coming out from Phantom Memory so far, at least in this early game. We saw it in the last game as well, which helped them secure it. As you see, Vara maybe just looking to no engage. No, they're just kind of trading a little bit, just kind of poking each other
a
out a
little
bit.
poking and harass by each other. No big team fight yet. But a nice impale into a nice Scythian wall yet again by the Lance.
Exactly, though. So we do see the forward barrage is just going to engage onto the Ringo.
Yeah, a nice series strike on the forward barrage indeed. Take the Ringo down to about half health. He's potentially gonna recall. Looking to stay. Probably realizing that this guy just went back and went for farm.
Exactly. So 5 minutes into this game, same goal difference in terms of Phantom Memory RK gold ahead in this match. Varia is on the CP, which I think is interesting because CP Varia is very much a skill shot hero, as we do see the Rona going in onto the Ringo.
Yeah, and then a nice Scythian wall yet again by this Lance, just keeping the aggression off for now onto his Ringo. Nice.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts about the game so far?
Well, as I say, it's very similar to the last game. Phantom Memory just playing a controlled match and engagement. As you do see this coming out, break it down for us.
Yeah, the nice death from above into a nice Hellfire Brew, damaging all three targets. The nice dash by the Varia, nice Scythian wall yet again. Just this damage is still looking relevant on both the Ringo and the Varia. Another beautiful impale.
Yeah, indeed, and that seemed to go over to the side of Kylin Esports. I think that from the Hell's Heart really made a difference in that team fight engagement because it actually created a lot of AoE damage because all of Phantom Memory were actually bunched together. So when it did hit I believe Elijah, it did damage to the Sky and the rest of the Phantom Memory team. So really good stuff going on for Kylin Esports in the second game of the series so far.
Yeah, we do have a 1.2k goal lead, and just for the viewer's sake, I do have to correct Imperium. That was the From Hellfire Brew, not the From Hell's Heart.
My humble apologies. I seem to get those mixed up all the time. My humble apologies. My performance is not on form so far this game, so I do humbly apologize to you guys in doing so. I will do my best to get that hype and that action casting up to my level that I do expect.
And we accept that apology. It's all good, and we all make mistakes. Nice impale, nice Scythian wall just to separate them. A good death from above for barrage connecting a little bit on Lance. Already popping the fountain. This is how much damage the side of Kylin Esports is able to do with this comp.
I think it was a very defensive fountain, a little bit of a scared fountain that came out outside Phantom Memory, as you do see Kylin are still engaging.
Yeah, I feel it was a little bit too early. And who knows, that could cost them if this aggression can keep up from the side of Kylin Esports.
Definitely, but they want to turn that aggression into map advantage because no turret is down on either team 8 minutes in.
Nice into the fray, going for the red mist, beautiful red mist, but dying to the Varia's damage.
Shatter glass Varia. You don't let Varia go. She's just gonna absolutely tear you down. She does so much damage.
Yeah, a mist impale by the Lance. Nice spacing from the death from above by the Sky. Keeping them in range a little bit. Okay, good Anvil's hammer. Just letting being able to have vision on the targets. Good cleanup on the first tier turret by the Ringo. That's what I want to see. Excellent.
Exactly. That's good team fight objective focus. You get a team fight win. You might not get the ace, but you turn it into a map advantage. Objectives are everything in the game of Vainglory, at least in the 3v3 game. Definitely in the 5v5 game, but we are in the 3v3 game. As it's obvious, I'm just going to stop saying 5v5 and 3v3 because I think that's just far too obvious right now.
Yeah, in objectives they sure are, and so is vision control, but we seem to, kind of lack vision, in both games, really. And some may say, we don't need it, but it's still nice to have.
It is. As I said, it can help secure the map a little bit more for your team, even if you get 2 scout traps out there that are kind of not popped for 3 or 4 minutes, yet still shows the enemy team. It can be a game changer. It can be a rotation changer. It can be an objective changer.
Yeah, that's true. And that was a nice gifting wall. Just stopping the Rona, the Lance doing his job, keeping the Rona off his Ringo. Okay, for Barrage, a little harass on the Lance. Nice twirling silver into a couple shots under the sky, lowering him to about half health. Kind of just going to let back the aggression. Another impale comes out from the Lance. Kind of, playing safe both sides right now. Now it's only a 200 gold lead on the side of Kylin Esports. 2 to 400. Oh, nice gauntlet separating the team. Sky going into a battle with Varya. Not sure that's preferred. Varya might be able to go down here. A lot of harass from the side of Phantom Memory. Solo. Okay, nice blood for blood by the Arden. Securing that kill. Nice gifting wall, just backing up the Rona.
Yeah, great stuff. But look at that damage coming out from Orphan.
Yeah, and that's what a Ringo can do, but surely, yes, the Lance will fall. Beautiful into the fray just to clean up that Lance.
Yeah, I think that was just a slight bit of over-aggression coming out from Phantom Memory. There's no point in kind of turret diving if all your team are not with you, and the Sky was getting chunked out. But we do see into Frey getting onto the Ringo, but look at the damage on Ringo.
Yeah, and it is interesting that he has Poison Shiv and not really going down the path of the Spell Sword. What do you think about this patch?
Well, it made sense going for the Poison Shift because you're against a Rona, and Rona has a lot of healing on her Red Mist and even onto her into Frey, and just her Foe Splitter just has a lot of sustain because she has Serpent's Mask. So picking up the Poison Shift, it's a strong item right now. It gives you a lot of speed boost, and it's just a strong item, followed by the Sorrow Blade, which gives you core weapon power damage. I'd like to see Breaking Point as a third item coming out from Morphin 15 right now.
Yeah, that's true. And as I just got, trash talked by somebody real quick, we're just going to let that go, and we're going to keep casting here. Nice into the fray by the Rona. Good Red Mist, dealing a lot of damage to the enemy side. Just going to back off right now.
Exactly. So we do see that, Phantom Memory now starting to push the turret just a little bit more. The goal difference is really close between these two teams. Ringo just doing that damage. Oh, fantastic! Death from above into the Story Strike, into the forward branch to help secure the kill onto the Ringo. Now it's a second kill on the Variant. This is double turret dive nearly coming out from Phantom Memory. No, they're going to back off. Go for that first turret, which is really good objective taken. Now, Sky is in the jungle taking Kylin Esports jungle, which is good. Split objective taking coming out from Phantom Memory. They're now back as a 3-man team, and they could even take Goldmine if they wanted, I feel. But now, no, the Varia's Anvil Hammer, I believe that is the ultimate that has come out just to try and spot out all the Phantom Memory.
Yes, and you are right by that. The Anvil's Hammer from the Varia. That is correct.
Look at that stuff. The damage coming out from Phantom Memory. There's nothing Modivus can do. And now the Sky is going on to Morphin. Does get the skill. Look at Elijah so close. goes nearly down to her last breath, but isn't going to go down. Is it going to even try to follow and engage as the ace? No, does come out on the side of Phantom Memory. Crystal Sentry is going to be taken. Now the gold mine. Phantom Memory, they are starting to snowball. We saw it in the first game, although at a kind of earlier stage, they broke Kylin down in this second game. At this stage, 14 minutes in, Duckmaster, this is really good stuff for Phantom Memory.
Yeah, it is. And like I said numerous of times before, they're just taking the aggression from last game and kind of using it as a mental gameplay against the side of Kylin Esports.
Exactly, and that's the thing, like, if you can kind of mentally get ahead of the enemy team in terms of, like, you know, making them think they're going to lose this game. Look at the route that came down. Varia, you know, feels like, you know, Kylin Esports aren't quite together with it right now, as you do see Rona jumping onto, oh no, the Impale does root and stop Rick from getting onto Varia, and they're going to go down his block, and now Varia's going to boot in with the healing coming out from the... Oh my god, I don't even know what to make of it. That was just a third dive and a half, as Sky's just going to try and 3v1. That's a double kill. Kylin Esports got back into. Duckmaster, you know, the healing flask saved the Varia. That is the word I was trying to find. The Kraken is now up. Was that just too much of an aggressive push that came out from Phantom Memory?
Yeah, that definitely was an overstay. I think they fell a little bit too over themselves, a little bit too cocky for that team fight or overextension, and it just cost them, and it's going to cost them a Kraken here.
Exactly. That's, you know, there's no point in kind of engaging hard if you're not really going to really take advantage of it. And it was 3v2, and we're going to see what the Kraken can do as it pushes onto the Impale, doesn't miss, and now Elijah going story striking for a barrage, and even Death from Blood just to separate Morphin. Now Cronus is getting chunked down a little bit, but that isn't going to stop because Morphin and Vari are full health, and that's what you want to see. You want to see your carry in your jungle at full health. It's roam support to take that damage and do somewhat sacrifices. So the Hellfire Brew is going to come out the Vanguard, and the block even does stop Elijah from being took down too much by the Hellfire Brew, as you do see the Kraken going to take a second turret. Vari doing absolutely fantastic poke damage on that Crystal Power. Bill Elijah now just going to followed by the forward barrage, and now it's just going to be going onto the Kraken as quickly as possible. Maybe a third turret can come down, but no, Kylin Esports are going to be happy. They've taken down the third choke turret. They have gotten themselves well back into this game. This is crazy stuff. Both teams are just making a couple of mistakes here or there, but they are taking full advantage of each other's mistakes.
Yes, indeed. And, you know, them taking an ace from Kylin Esports, Phantom Memory then giving up an ace, letting go of a Kraken. A Kraken took 2.5 turrets, Imperium. That is such an overstep, and it paid a lot of damage on the side of Phantom Memory for overextending.
It did. Exactly, and it was actually the perfect Kraken push. But then again, you know, Kylin Esports do actually have somewhat of very good, decent kind of siege comp, at least from it being able to poke. The Varia has fantastic build of Shadow Glass Dragons. I've been able to bring up those stacks. I would have liked to see maybe a bit of cooldown, but look at this. The Crystal Sentry is going to look being taken out by Phantom Memory, just trying to help increase their mental and physical map control. But now the Death from Above, the gun is going to go over the wall now, trying to lock down all of Kylin Esports as the block does come out to stop the golden out. Second golden comes out, but doesn't quite catch out the Ringo. But now, are Phantom Memory going to be spotted out too much? No, but now the roller is going to go onto the Varia, but he's rooted by the Impale. Now the interface is just going to go onto the Lance. Lance is going to cause a bit of a distraction, but now Sky and Arden just focus on Ringo. The kill is secured by the Sky in the forward barrage. Now so it's going to be second kill. Rona going onto the Lance. Lance is just going to be took down. What can Lance do? Nothing, because does Roll come and roll over the wall, but he is going to be killed by the Vanguard coming out from the Arden Phantom Memory getting back into this game very hard, very fast, showing that Kraken, that ace that Kylin got in the previous team fight was a pure fluke.
Yeah, that's very true. Kind of showing them that, hey, we gave it to you and we'll be glad to take it back. And they're looking and have their eyes on the Kraken as we speak.
Well, it's a perfect time for the Kraken to push up. They got team fight win, but the Anvil's Hammer does come out to spot the Kraken being taken, and now it's going to have to be very careful. No, Cat Lover and the Vari is just going to go in, but she's going in on her own. Cat Lover secures a Kraken steal, and now she's going to be shut down. But what can Kylin Esports do? No, Ringo isn't going to be saved. No, because Lance is doing his best. Going to get him out of the way now. Phantom Memory has to go back, and they have to chunk down this Kraken. Oh my god, Cat Lover, you beautiful Vari, you absolute beast for stealing that Kraken. It's like he knew what he wanted to do.
Yeah, and the funny thing about a CP Varya is not only does her abilities affect off a CP, so does her damage. That was a beautiful Kraken steal, just buying time for the side of Kylin Esports.
Exactly, and it's free 500 gold each coming out from Phantom Memory. They're going to take that. They're just going to try and maybe just increase their build, increase their infusions, and then maybe just get back into this team fight. I feel they're going to want to be aggressive and shut down as quickly as possible both the Varia and the Ringo in this game, because you want to. We saw them taking the Crystal Century, which did actually lead them to taking the team fight win earlier before the Kraken was stolen awesomely by Varia. So if they do the same again and go for the Crystal Century, I believe that last one will make it an elimination. So if they do take out the Crystal Century again, they do flare out that bush to make sure there's no surprises coming out from Kylin Esports, that I think they can have a chance of really taking this next team fight. But if Flair comes out from Clonus just to spot out all of Phantom Memory, Death from Above, the combat roll does stop that. The first gauntlet comes out just to try and help lock on to both Varia and Ringo. Now Varia's going to be shut down, but the fantastic damage coming out from the Varia doesn't stop her being shut down. Now it's going to be second fantastic gauntlet, helps Rona secure the kill onto the Ringo. These gauntlets have been absolutely on point. As you do see, it's going to help probably secure a nice. There's only so much defense Kylin Esports has on that Lance. Is going to be an ace, and they are going to bear down on this third. That
is going to be a game 2 and a series over to Phantom Memory. They surely are going to win this game. It's just an excellent team fight by the side of Phantom Memory, and as we speak, both turrets go down, and surely this crystal goes down as well.
Yeah, and it's going to be game 2 over to Phantom Memory. They do take it a 2-0 over Kylin Esports. Kylin Esports did so much in this second game. They played a much better game, I feel. Their builds were a lot better. They had, Cronus played a really good Lance, using that Echo to his advantage to get out so many great Githian walls to try and lock down the enemy team, then to stop Rona getting onto both Varia and Ringo. But you got to give Phantom Memory so much credit. The focus they had, the gauntlets coming out from Modovus was absolutely defining in this game. Over the wall, they just really helped lock down Kylin Esports so nicely.
Yeah, and that's very true. And, well played by both teams, but, I was going to touch base before the game actually ended. Whoever picked up that ace could have, and, factually have ended the game if chosen to do so.
Yeah, exactly. And, what do you think? Do you think, with all due respect, do you think Kylin's somewhat slightly through this second game, that even though we saw a really great Kraken steal coming out from Cat Lover, that if they had played the game a bit more structured, that they would have just secured the game over Phantom Memory?
The only way I think they could have honestly beat Phantom Memory is vision control. They honestly got outplayed. They got ganked by the side of Phantom Memory. Beautiful gauntlets, beautiful death from above by the sky. It's just way too much crowd control. The slow from the into the fray was just way too much for a mobile comp like this that didn't reflex block or crucible properly to evade from, and that just ended up costing them the game.
Yeah, it did indeed, and you know, that was still a great match between these two teams. I think Kylin came into the second game with definitely better structure, better focus. And, you know, they did make their own mistakes. They did get the Varia, they got the Ringo, they got the Lance. I feel maybe Lance was possibly the downfall of their comp. Okay, yes, provided good defense, but maybe something like a Varia, not a Varia, a Lyra, just to give that extra range and that extra heal could have actually maybe helped. Could have helped them just to stave off the damage that was coming out from Phantom Memory. The Lyra's Bright Bulwarks does shut down both the Sky and the Rona quite nicely. But however, look, that is how the game played out. Before I close this awesome series and stream, have you got any last words to say?
Yeah, a beautiful stream. You know, thank you, Imperium, for casting this with me. Thank you, the audience, for watching this tremendous 2 games. You know, everyone could have wished for a game 3, but you know, 2 games happened. Phantom Memory won. You know, 2-0. Wonderful series, amazing to watch. I'm glad I got to see Koshka back in.
Yeah, exactly. Koshka back onto the fold, doing her absolute chunk burst damage and being just an assassin and just a menace to the enemy team. So on that note, my name has been Imperium. I want to thank you all for tuning in.